Hi, my name is Morgan Annis, and I'm going to be talking about the French Revolution's outcome and how France is affected in similar ways today. Europe was divided into three groups: nobility, clergy, and the commoners, and then there was the king, which at the time was King Louis XVI. At the time of the Enlightenment, people were starting to ask more questions and find the reasoning. Ideas were spreading quickly to everyone. There was soon an economic crisis in France. Monarchy tried to enforce taxes on the commoners, but that quickly took a turn for the worse and riots broke out. By the late 1780s, on July 14th, the people who wanted to change, mostly the Third Estate, took over the Bastille Palace. Local governments were forced out of its own power and replaced by patriots. The government was quickly falling. The National Assembly was taking over. This day was declared Bastille Day and was the beginning of the old monarchy. After the Bastille Day protests had escalated even more, the people were scared. The revolutionists wanted a constitution based on Enlightenment principles. Commoners could barely survive, but they still had to pay many taxes. There became a food shortage, leading to the Great Fear. In August of 1789, taxes were given up. The Enlightenment was begging to become a law after many years. Soon the French made a declaration stating men are born and remain free and equal in rights. This declaration declared freedom of religion, press, taxation, and equality before the law. Women had the right to vote during the Revolution, but were not given full political rights. Women wrote petitions and demanded more participation. An activist by the name of de Gaulle wrote a book, The Declaration of the Rights of Women and the Female Citizen, and fought for female inequality. But she was then executed for going after the government. Later on, the reorganization of the Catholic Church drove the royal family to leave France. The Constitution was completed in 1791. People hoped the war would defeat the revolution or end the king. April 21st, 1792, war was declared on Austria. Prussia right away allied with them. The terror started because the Public Safety Committee arrested and executed opponents in order to protect themselves from enemies. It continued and worsened. The terror did not touch many parts of France, but it did cost the lives of 40,000 French people. The crisis came to an end on July 1794. Napoleon Bonaparte gained reputation by defeating Austria and Italy. Russia, Persia, and Austria wiped out Poland completely from the map. After a long war in 1799, the war ended. Here is a map that shows the states that established by the revolutionary France. Although the French Revolution was successful in some ways, for the most part it was not. France ended up right back where they started because of Napoleon crowning himself emperor. And here we have a map of Europe today. As you can see, it is very different from the one shown before. Today, France is a unitary system with a semi-press democracy, having both a prime minister and president. Since 1789, France has had 11 political systems, those being 5 republics, 3 monarchies, and 2 empires. During the French Revolution, there was a minority with women's voting and commoners being underprivileged, but in France today there is still a minority. France's state policy rejects any reference to national, radical, ethnic, religious, or linguistic minorities. This is called absolute equality. It is seen to benefit the state and citizens. Not everyone is seeing this as fair. Many Muslims, Black French, and Roma are being singled out because of their religion and what they believe in. Since the terrorist attack in 2015, it has gotten even worse. In this picture, you see a Muslim woman being told to take off her clothes by an armed police officer. France and Europe have changed dramatically since the French Revolution. Although the problems aren't the same as they were back then, they are occurring in similar ways today.